Oh, 56 hard in the wall. Looks like we're going to stay green. Oh,
they got a spin.
95 around, 33 hard into the inside wall.
Oh, they're wrecking up front. 93, Ricky Johnson's around, collects the 30, the 59, the 30, I already said the 30. Oh,
they're still wrecking.
Oh my God, the 22 of Jason San Diego, damn it. Oh my word.
Turn 3 and 4.
They fly for turn 3 and 4.
That's 66 now. Oh, they're 3 wide.
Oh no, who's
3?
here?
I don't know, they're 3 wide through the tri-oval. It's a feld there at the yellow flag. For the lead, the 77 goes to the inside, doesn't have the run there. Goes back outside, he's going to try to have the momentum through turns 3 and 4. Peaks to the inside, it's going to be a drag race down the front straightaways. Calabol's around!
It's going to be at the line, it's so close! Merslack wins it!
Don't think. Oh, he got really close. He's going to look to the inside. Oh, they make contact! Oh my God! Joseph Weaver! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's presentation of the TMP Racing League Late Model Series here at the beautiful Nazareth Speedway. As always, I'm your host, Joe Twansky. Alongside me tonight, it is the co-hostess with the mostest, Tommy Bordeaux. Welcome to the booth again, Tommy.
Hey Joe, great to be back up here and great to broadcast a race from the crown jewel of Pennsylvania. It's the Lehigh Valley tonight here, including Nazareth Speedway, another triangle track within Pennsylvania.
Tommy, we're heading to Pennsylvania again. You know, a lot of times when we're going to Pennsylvania, we're going to a different track, another tricky track, but Nazareth tonight, that's the track on the docket. What are these drivers, what are they going to have to do tonight in these late model stock cars to have a successful evening here?
Well, Joe, you take a look at this course, 3 turns, all of them completely different. It's similar to Pocono, of course, which is just a few miles up the road. However, Nazareth presents a lot of challenges for these drivers, not just in the turns, but also the straightaways and the elevation change of this track. Now, some tracks, especially like your typical 1.5 milers, they're consistently flat. They have their banking, of course, but Nazareth coming out of turn 2, I think that's where we're going to see the most problems here tonight. Coming out of turn 2, a little bit of elevation increase as they enter that corner, and it flattens back out as they leave it. So should be pretty difficult to navigate these 3 turns, and the one that can do it the best and keep it clean is probably going to take home the checkered flag.
You consider this track a 3-turn course, not a 4-turn?
I consider it 3 turns, personally. That's kind of my approach to it when I'm driving it.
Well, you would know, Tommy. You would know. You've visited Nazareth and Lehigh Valley numerous times. You're talking about in pre-race production meetings. You pointed out, you know, all the great places to go around the speedway, around the locale. That sounds so fancy. What makes Nazareth, though, just a great place for racing? You know, we don't actually go here anymore with stock. No one goes here anymore, right? Nazareth Speedway now defunct in real life. A little bit ruining the immersion a little bit here, but what made Nazareth so special to so many people?
Well, it's so unique, Joe. You don't get a track like this on the schedule that often. A short track, completely different from any other course on the schedule. I think in similarities, perhaps it shares a little bit with Phoenix and its flat short track nature, but still Nazareth really nothing like any other course you're going to go to. And of course, the skill set required to be fast here is going to be one that some drivers love and others can't stand. So that variety, that challenge of a completely different course, unfamiliar to anybody typically when we go here, should provide some exciting racing.
Yeah, we see the Rubinos tuning in to cheer on Dan Rubino in the 44 car, currently watching the 22 of Dylan Shaffer. Tommy, this TMP Racing League, we've been over the format for the championship. It's a unique one. When we were at Atlanta with the Cup Series, having 3 different mods, 3 different series, all in line for a combination championship between an IndyCar series, NASCAR Cup Series, a little redundant there, and then these late model stock cars. Now, those 3 different cars, they're very, very, very different, right? These cars are going to have a little less horsepower, but they're going to be a little grippier in the track, where the stock cars have a lot more horsepower, but they are absolutely terrible to drive, right? Then you go to the IndyCar, where you have all the engineering that you can into that race vehicle. But we turn back to tonight. What is the challenge for these drivers with this specific car and mod at this really hard track? Really hard track. I almost called it terrible. It's a tricky track. It's not a terrible track, because it's going to put on some great action for us tonight here on JTN.
Yeah, Joe, I like this track personally. I mean, I like the way it drives. I typically like these flatter, short tracks. That's kind of my bread and butter, especially like Lucas Oil and New Hampshire, that kind of track. For these drivers, I think the number one thing, you've got to get yourself to the finish of this race if you want a chance to win. Now, it seems like such a simple concept, but around this circuit with other cars in close proximity to you, it's a lot harder than it may seem on paper. And certainly, Joe, with each one of these corners being different, each one of these drivers might have a different approach to them. They might brake earlier or later than you, and that could really cause some chaos, both on corner entry and exit. So you got to watch out for those cars around you and make sure you don't get caught up in any wrecks. That's going to be the main thing to watch out for tonight.
And talking to the drivers pre-race, a lot of them are very concerned about incidents tonight. Not a lot of confidence with these drivers about grip and being able to get through these really flat corners. You see Boyer in this 41 Ford Fusion having a lot of trouble off of, I'm going to call it turn 2, Tommy. Is it, real quick, I want to make sure we get the nomenclature right. Is it turn 1 and 2 at this first end of the track, or is that one turn, or is the you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that one turn right after the start and finish line, which is a unique feature of Nazareth, is that quick turn right after the start and finish line. I consider that turn 1, then you go under the bridge through turn 2, and then turn 3 is a sharp left-hand turn, of course. I mean, we're on an oval. That leads you back to the start and finish straight. That's what I consider turns 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, so I'm thinking, in my really not a lot, but experience here at Nazareth, turn 3 is going to be the biggest issue for these drivers, because it is so much different than turn 1 or turn 2. These corners are so different, Tommy. They're just so different.
No, they are, Joe, and that's the big thing you got to watch out with turn 3. I think where we're going to see the most incidents tonight is entering turn 3, because the way different drivers take that turns through braking, through their line, that's where you can see a lot of variety, but that's also where we're going to see a lot of wrecks. And I think if there's a trouble spot tonight, it's going to be right there on the entrance to turn 3.
Watching Bumble and his 85 Gas Monkey Ford. Right now the 33 car right behind him there. I lost my thought, Tommy. I lost the train of thought. Thank you, everyone, tuning in so early. We're winding down opening practice here. Going to be going to qualifying shortly, and then we'll get to 5-minute happy hour and get ready to race here at Nazareth. If you want to check out more NR 2003 racing broadcasting, just overall great content, you can check out the JTN JoeTowNetwork YouTube page. Give us a subscribe, hit the subscribe button if you have not already. If you haven't already too, make sure you like the video. Those subs and liking the video and even comments, they really help us here. Roger Nebelsek tuning in the chat as well now. We appreciate that so much. Also check out our Facebook page. Give us a like over there. That link is in the description below, Tommy. We also, I think you can vouch for it a lot, we have some amazing JTN merch you can check out in the link in the description below.
Yeah, Joe, I'm wearing mine right now. I've got my JTN shirt on. We've had a few viewers send in some pictures of their JTN merch as well, wearing shirts with our logo on them, designed by Mr. Joe Tolansky. And I must say, Joe, it is one heck of a comfortable shirt, and it fits the bill as far as a broadcaster's delight to wear up in the booth.
Well, and that's the official JTN merch. So check out that link in the description below. Buy a shirt with our logo. Buy a shirt with a race car on it. We got everything that you'd want there. teespring.com/JTN merch store, I believe, is the link. But it's down in the description below if you want to find out more. Again, winding down opening practice here, getting ready for qualifying at Nazareth with the TMP Racing League Late Model Series. This is race number 6 on the season, Tommy. Season's winding down. Race number 6, right? We're at race 6 of the overall 30 race championship, I believe. So this is only race number 2 for these late models. These drivers don't have a lot of experience right now with these cars in this new season. When it comes to these cars, what is going to be the biggest issue for these drivers? The cars themselves, maybe not the track.
Yeah, speaking of these cars themselves, you spoke earlier about the different series that different cars this single series runs, but the difference between a stock car, cup car, between the late models, and of course the Indy car. I mean, 3 very different types of driving required. Driving a cup car these days is kind of like driving a brick, and an Indy car is completely different. I mean, you have enough grip to make the earth move beneath you. But here in these late models, Joe, you got less power, but you also got to watch, especially on corner exit, those rear tires. Maybe not as much grip and downforce as a cup car, so you got to watch out there. I think these things might step out on you a little bit more. So I think if you're looking at, the difference between these cars, what the challenges are going to be, it's all about adaptation. And I think that's also the mark of a great driver, Joe, whoever can adapt to not only the tracks, but also the cars.
I think adaptation is the big key here with this TMP Racing League. In combination with the ASRA. Every week it's a different set of challenges. Not just, normally when we talk about a different set of challenges, we're only referring to the track, right, Tommy? We're talking about going from a Daytona to an Atlanta to a Bristol to a Watkins Glen, right, in the 4-week span. Here, we're not only talking about the change in track, we're talking about a change in the vehicle that you are driving. There's good and bad to that, right? Guys that are going for this overall championship, they have to be very versatile. They have to have a wide range of skills, a very large skill set. You also have guys that are only running certain series, certain mods, running for those individual mod championships. This driver's getting called to their cars for qualifying.
Right, Joe. It opens up a lot of opportunity for guys who maybe specialize in one area to get up there and get on the broadcast, go up front, win some races. But for those other guys, it presents a huge challenge rather than an opportunity, because you've got to be so good at all these different types of physics and series and track combinations. So certainly, Joe. But it's exciting. The TMP Racing League did a great job setting up this series, the points format, the series format, and I think it provides something quite unique in sim racing that I don't think I've really seen before. And of course, you always want to see something like that in the sim racing world where we can do it so easily.
And I think that's the beauty of sim racing, right? Especially with a game, it's not a game, Tommy. I misspoke. It's a sim.
As Dale Jr. would say this past weekend, it is, and certainly a simulation.
Dude, he delivered that with so much oomph behind it. But with a sim like NR 2003 that we are running here, that we run with all these broadcasts on JTN, it is one of the best ways to just, you can do it all. There are mods for GT racing, there's mods for IndyCar, there's mods for all the NASCAR, oval type series, there's dirt series mods in this game, albeit, some are obviously better than the others, but if you want to get into a sim, and you don't have necessarily the largest of budget, NR 2003 is the best way to go, by far.
I would agree with that, Joe. If you're looking to get into sim racing, there are definitely a few options that don't break the bank, and you can find out if it's for you. And I think that with the amount of mods, tracks, all that kinds of stuff that, NR 2003 has curated for it over, a decade and a half, more than a decade and a half. Right. That's really what brings this sim still to be in popularity. I mean, if you didn't have that community focus where people are making things for this game pretty much constantly, whether it be paint schemes, mods, tracks, whatever, it probably wouldn't be what it is today. But people do, and the ease of ability to do such a thing, relatively, once you get around some initial hurdles of learning, allows it to be a very versatile sim. And you know, like you said, Joe, if you don't want to break the bank, NRG on 3, the way to go there.
Want to get into an NR 2003 league, why not check out the TMP Racing League? Down the link in the description below, you can find out more, get a link to their Facebook page. You can learn how to sign up and get involved with a great group of guys here. You can also check out the ASRA website, which is also linked in the description below. Qualifying looks like it has concluded. Tommy, why don't you take us through our starting lineup?
Sure thing, Joe. Well, a blistering lap from Tom Musa in the 4-car puts him on pole a whole 3/10 ahead of Tom Fastcows, who will start on his outside. Then it's the 78 of Wade Driscoll starting third with Ricky Bumbelow to his outside. That's row 2. Row 3, we have Ron Milkey in the 60 car with Josh Borer in the 41 to his outside. Looking back now, the 108 car of John Palmer to his outside. Dylan Shaffer in the 22. It's Dan Rubino in the 44 starting 9th with Matt Bergeron in the 17 rounding out the top 10. Then we have Mojo in the 21 car. He's going to start 11th with Hartman in the 7 car starting 12th. Clayton Stokes in the 92. He's going to roll off P13. And the 57 car, that's Ronnie Keller in 14th, the last car to set a time. Richard Fankel and Jeff Schaefer, they're going to round out the field, not set a time in qualifying, but they will still be on the grid. Joe, we got a pretty sizable field for late models here at Nazareth, and I must say, you go down to your local late model track, you're probably going to see this size of field, so it's a good representation of what it might actually be like to see some late models on this historic Nazareth Oval.
Nazareth just has so much history, Tommy. It's going to be interesting to see what we add to the history books tonight. We've seen fantastic finishes here on JTN with all the variety of series that we've had. We had a photo finish last night with the Hobo Racing Truck Series. Again, you can check those out on our YouTube page. But, Tommy, I would say pick a guy to win this race tonight, but you and I both know that that means absolutely nothing because we will not have a good idea on who will win this race until that checkered flag falls because it's just so up in the air at this point.
Yeah, Joe, it seems like every single time we broadcast a race on JTN, no matter the series, no matter the league, no matter the cars or the tracks, and even who's in the booth, it seems to be a photo finish at the end. Nearly every time, somehow or another, we just pull it out and deliver it to you fans at home. It's hard to say, though, that tonight you can look at anybody else other than Tom Musa, our pole sitter, as a possible candidate to be the race winner. 3/10 up in qualifying. I mean, how can you beat that around a short track? That's a huge gap, and I think nobody's going to stop him as long as he can stay out of trouble in that number 4 car.
That rowdy energy machine, you see it on pit road with its Hoosier tires. It's going to be hard to beat Musa. We know that. Any series, any track that we go to here with TMP and ASRA, but you're going to have to look out for Fankel towards the back of the field. I know he didn't qualify, but a lot of times he is a guy that can get towards the front in these races. Also, another guy to look out for is Boyer in that 41 car. He's always fast wherever we go, whenever we see him on track. Again, it's going to be 110 laps tonight. No competition cautions, none of that stuff. If there's a caution, it's because of an incident on track. Getting ready to go here. Here you see the number 2 car, Dodge Charger, but calamity, calamity, calamity. Is that going to be the story of tonight's race, Tommy? 'Cause that's what the drivers seem to think.
Well, if it's what the drivers think, then I'm going to go with what they have to say, because, Joe, you don't know exactly what's going to happen unless you're the one behind the wheel. It helps to have an eye in the sky for sure, but until you're out on the racetrack, well, they know best. And I think tonight, hopefully, calamity keeps to a minimum and we get some good racing, although You never know what's going to happen live on JTN. It's the TMP Racing League Late Model Series at Nazareth Speedway. Just a few moments away now from getting these cars all lined up on the grid. The green flag just minutes away here on JTN.
And while we're just minutes away, we're going to plug some of our sponsors even more, Tommy. You can check out AutoSim, the premier text-based simulated racing game on the market. Well, it's not even on the market right now. It's in open beta. You can check out autosim.weebly.com to find out more about how you can get playing AutoSim today. Tommy, you and I are both in that game as part of the series that come with it. I completely drew a blank there for a second. That is autosim.weebly.com. You can also check out their Discord page where you can find more mods to mod the game to fit the current NASCAR Cup Series, 90s Cup Series, 60s, 70s. It's all over the place. Great community there on Discord, providing numerous great mods for the game to make it even more immersive. Also, while you're down there in those links in the description below, while we're waiting for this race to start, check out JoeTow Designs, providing you with some great, awesome, amazing t-shirt designs. And you're also, Tommy, the ones that Mr. Joe Twansky, oh, that's me. That's me, Tommy. That's me. Made for the JTN merch store. Also got some great shirts up on there. Use code JTN2 at checkout for 10% off. So it looks like we are resetting happy hour currently. I get a on why that is, Tommy. Back. I believe they're waiting for the 3 car to come back in. But that is JoeTow Designs in the link in the description below to find out. Not find out, but find some awesome t-shirts designs. There's also one on there with our producer Bristol the dog, a picture of him when he was a puppy. Tommy, it says nap time on it. It's the perfect sleeping shirt. You can also get it on a blanket. I mean, that is beautiful. If you ask me, that is my favorite one by far. It's not a racing one. It's just a cute little puppy sleeping.
Yeah, hard to go wrong there. Bristol, a fantastic producer, of course, also quite the model as well. One of our favorite canines here on JTN, probably the only one really. But I'll tell you what, Joe, if I could talk about AutoSim for a few moments while we have the time. I did get to test drive it about a week ago with our fast roster, with everybody in there. Joe, you're not going to believe me when I tell you this, but you won a Cup Series championship within like the first 2 or 3 years of me simulating through that. So congratulations, first of all.
Thank you. I was going to say the first couple times because I made that file, so maybe a little nepotism there, but first couple times I did it, you won the Cup Series championship back-to-back in the first 2 years. So,
well, that's impressive because for me it took a while, and I was a little upset there. But I finally got one, and hey, we're finally going to get the green flag here shortly. The car's being called to the grid here at Nazareth.
Getting ready to kick this one off, folks. Thank you so much for sticking around as
Drivers, start your engines.
Hear the command to start engines. Gonna be Musa and Fast Cow on the front row here to start this thing off. You have the 78 of Wade Driscoll and the 85 of Ricky Bumbledow on row 2. Row 3 is Milky in the 60 and Boyer in the 41. Row 4 is going to be Dog Palmer and the 22 of Dylan Shaffer. Row 5 is going to be... I get these rows. I might have got these rows mixed up. It's going to be Rubino in the 44, and then the 17 of Bergeron. That's going to be your top 10 to start this race. Getting ready to get going here. So happy you are joining us. Pace car is going to take the access road to pit road. Tommy, we're getting ready to go green. These drivers are going to wave to the crowd one more time before they get things going. Into the restart zone. Green flags in the air. We're racing here at Nazareth.
Already a great start from Tom Musa. He was the fastest in qualifying by a mile and pulling out to an early lead here already at Nazareth. Navigating these turns is going to be tricky, but he makes it look easy. He's already a few tenths ahead of that 33 of Tom Pascal's.
Right now, we're pretty single file throughout the field, Tommy. Milky in the 60 target machine. Looks like he made a move to the inside of the 22. Palmer now looking to do the same down here into turn 1.
I think early on you're going to see a lot of that single file, just guys kind of trying to
22
figure it out a
hard
little
to
bit.
the wall.
Oh, there's some contact.
The 44 car's around on the front straightaway. That's going to bring out a yellow unless I missed something else. I don't think I did. And yep, it's going to be the 44 Dan Rubino spinning out on the front straightaway. Going to bring out our first yellow.
Yeah, right there, exiting turn number 1. It's a tough turn right there. Not the initial action spot we thought we might have, but already our first yellow just a few laps in.
Here you see, it's really slick down there in turn 1, Tommy. You see these guys, they kind of wrap that curbing there on the inside, and it really causes the car to just kind of shake loose a little bit too much.
Yeah, you got to be really careful with how you go through that turn. A couple cars ahead of that 44 of Rubino was another car that hit the wall quite hard on the outside, and that's going to cause some damage. I think that could impact the speed, hopefully not too hard and too much damage, but early on, you don't want to be making mistakes like that if you want to shut at the win.
Go on board with the 22 car of Dylan Shaffer here. His contact, you can kind of give you a really good perspective of this front straightaway here at Nazareth. Basically, he's going to cross the start-finish line, go into turn 1, and it's really loose up there, hits the outside walls, tried to keep it in, foot on the gas, and then just really bit him there, causing that 22 car to make contact with that outside wall.
Yeah, it's a tough turn. If you've raced Nazareth in NR 2003 before, chances are you probably have done the same thing. So don't try and say you haven't.
Oh, no, I have. I definitely have. I think you did, too. I think
we've all done it. I remember a couple of years ago, fast race there in the Cup Series. I think twice.
Ooh.
And
it's a mess.
It was probably
a mess.
it was a mess. But I think tonight, once things get strung out a little bit, everybody gets settled down, I think we'll have a good one.
We gotta
what
get
do you
there.
say, Joe?
Well, we gotta get there, right? You kind of gotta feel the car out a little bit here. These guys, a lot of times in practice, you're not racing around other competitors. You're kind of practicing around other competitors. They weren't racing in practice, but you don't drive around other guys, right? A lot of times during practice, you're kind of by yourself. You kind of can see everything on the track really well. Everything's visible. You don't have to worry about maybe missing some of your markers on the outside for where to let off, where to hit the brakes and whatnot. Once you get around other cars, though, that kind of throws you off a little bit and takes a little while to get adjusted to that.
Yeah, it can change the game, certainly. Also, how you practice can depend on how you race, too. I know a lot of sim racers might make the mistake of practicing for qualifying, basically, right? Looking at the time charts, trying to go faster and faster with single lap pace. But something that's really helped me recently in sim racing over the past year or so is changing how I practice more for the race, doing long runs, feeling how tires are late in a run, and just trying to be more consistent. And I think the drivers who are doing that, who've done that tonight, I think are going to have a really good shot at this thing, especially if we get a long green flag run, although that is all up in the air. Pace car going down the access road once again. Tom Musa leads us to the start. Joe, why don't you bring us there?
Yeah, he's got Fast Cow right behind him. Single file restarts here in the TMP Late Model Series. They go into the restart zone. Flagger with the green flag. He waves it. We're back green flag racing at Nazareth.
We'll see how these drivers navigate turn 1 this time. Single file starts definitely going to help things, even out a little bit, smooth themselves out, and not be all bunched up like side-by-side started at the beginning of the race.
Right now, Fast Cow and Musa have gotten out to a big lead over the rest of the pack. You see the guys single file down the back straightaway right now. 78 car washes way up the hill here in third place. It's going to allow Bumpalo to get to his inside. And
yeah, it's a trouble spot, turn 3 right there. Got to be careful you don't wash up and hit that wall.
And why are we going to see that throughout the night, Tommy? Is it just that these guys are trying to take more speed as the yellow flag's out again here? They're trying to just get more speed through those corners than what the car can really handle. It looks like Rubino's around again.
Yeah, Clayton Stokes also looks like he was involved in the 92. We'll get a replay real quick, and in the meantime, to answer your question, Joe, yeah, you want to carry as much speed as you can into a corner, obviously, to keep your momentum up and exit fast as well, but sometimes with the track geometry, the way it is, how flat that corner is, and how long it is as well, sometimes you can get a little loose, get up there, try to catch that car, and end up in the wall carrying too much speed into the corner.
Saw Stokes making contact with that inside guardrail there. Pit road. Like Rubino, he kind of did the same thing they did earlier, just saw the incident up ahead and caused that 44 car to break loose and go around. Get a replay of that. And you see it, there you see the 92 going around hard contact in the inside, while the 44, though, he barely noses it in there. He should be good. I believe it's moderate damage tonight, so these guys should be okay. It's not going to affect the cars too much. It's fixed setup as well, so drivers should be okay. You're definitely going to want to come down and make sure the front end geometry is not too messed up, Tommy, but nothing to write home about right now.
Don't ask me why I say this, Joe, but boy, it'd be sure nice if I could turn down damage to moderate or even off in real life, if I must say so myself. It'd be a lot less expensive of a sport, racing would be.
You know, you win some, you lose some, and a lot more times than not, you're going to lose some, especially when it comes to the old wallet there that you got in your pocket.
The best way to become a millionaire in racing is to start a billionaire.
What bag of cliches did you get that one out of?
My first weekend doing SCCA racing.
That was in Miatas, right? Or was
Correct. And to be fair, those are, in the world of racing, quite reasonable once you get the overhead taken care of in getting a car, a transporter, that kind of thing. However, racing, it's still no small feat. Don't get me wrong, but I must say, Spec Miata, shout out to that class for existing, because it is why I was able to race in cars for a little bit, and hopefully we'll get back to it after 2020 is over for all of us.
Yeah, I hope that I think everyone's just waiting for the year to end here, just like we're waiting for this caution flag period to end. Looks like we're gonna go back green flag next time. It's Musa, Fast Cow, Bumbalo, Boyer, or nope, sorry, Bumbalo in that 85, Milky, and Palmer your top 5 here for this restart. It's 3 times wear 2 tonight, Tommy, so it's gonna ensure that we get pit stops at some point. They're gonna be going down the back straightaway here. It's gonna be interesting to see. I wonder if Bumbalo is gonna be able to get a little bit of restart here. We've seen these top 2 able to break away from the field. The initial start and that first restart. Interesting to see if that is the case again here. Pace car on the access road, going to pit road, getting off the track because we're about to unleash these drivers once more. Musa brings him into the restart zone. He's going to see the green flag. We're back racing under green flag conditions here at Nazareth.
Well, it looks like Bumbalo did get a good start, but Tom Fastcows in second didn't. That kind of bunched things up back there in second and third. That allowed Musa to pull away a little bit. Ooh. Looks like that 33 getting a little tight there. Close racing between Bumbalo and Fastcows.
Bumbalo got all the way to the back bumper there, and he kind of just gave the 33 a shot down the back straightaway. Fastcow reeling a little bit, letting that 4-car of Musa get out to a bigger lead than he has all night long.
Yeah, and with how fast Musa is, I mean, you gotta strike early in a run, try and get him behind you. But right now, that 4-car, boy, it's got rowdy energy on the hood. It might as well be rowdy energy in the gas tank. And no, I don't mean stopping and not being able to start. I mean, it's fast, although 33 car looks like he's closing in just a little bit.
Yeah, I think Fastcow, he's kind of got to... Oh, buddy, save it! Oh, my goodness. That was the save and a half, Tommy.
Quite the save from Tom Fastcows right there. Turn 3, like we mentioned earlier, a trouble spot for these guys, especially on braking. Incredible job to save it there, especially at almost the front of the field. That could have been bad. Looks like the 85 of Ricky Bumbalo trying to take advantage of that.
Bumbalo in that gas monkey machine. It's a Ford trying to chase down a Chrysler 300 here. Always interesting manufacturers on the Speedway. Fastco, though, doing a good job of trying to pull back away. We go throughout the field here, though. It's a lot. Everyone's single file, giving each other a lot of room. Looks like the yellow flag's out once again. No.
Looks like Boyer in the 41 car. Around on the front stretch.
A replay.
Just as you were saying, things were looking good.
Hey, man. Just when things get going good, something happens. Let's see, replay going down into turn 3 here, Tommy. And what happens?
Well, Joe, taking a look at the monitor over here, it looks like that 41 car, yep, that's classic. That's exactly where we suspected we'd see incidents all night long, and he's just a victim of that turn, Joe.
Go the Rocky Boots on board here with Boyer going down to turn 3. So he's behind the 78 car of Wade Driscoll.
He did keep that car quite straight, but TMP officials bringing out the yellow out of an abundance of caution. There were plenty of cars coming, and you don't want a situation in which you, well, you don't throw caution and you wish you would have. But everybody looks to be just fine after that. No damage to the 41. But some new tires definitely in order.
How important are tires going to be throughout the night, Tommy? It's a flat track, so you want to have as much grip. You want to have as much contact with the racing surface. Tires going to be really important tonight.
Well, you mentioned the 3 times wear, Joe, and that's really going to put more of an importance on fresh rubber than a normal race might see with 1 time or 2 times wear. But on the other hand, given the nature of this track, the difficulty of passing, you pretty much only have 1 passing opportunity, and that is in turn 3, the trouble turn. Track position is also important, and I almost feel like every week we say that track position is important because it is everywhere. But I don't know, it's going to be a very interesting mix to see what kind of strategies, especially the guys up front like Musa, Bumbalo, and Fast Cow run, because tires are more of a premium than they usually would be.
And when we talk about 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time wear, that's just an uptick, right? It's a factor that we multiply the normal wear by. So if it was 1 time, that'd be about as close to real life as we get. If it's 2 times, it's double what the normal wear is. 3 times as much wear, and so on, going all the way up to 4 times. So again, that ensures that these guys are going to have to pit at some point in the race, right, Tommy? So we want to make sure that we're giving crews a chance to make a difference in this race, even though they're virtual and they are all the same for these drivers. And setup's not going to matter, but if a guy can save his tires a little bit here and kind of just be easy, keep the heat out of them as much as he can, keep as much tread on him, he's going to be at an advantage later on in the run.
Yeah, and not only will being easy on the tires help you for later in a run, but also you're just easier on the car. If you're not pushing it to its limit every single lap, going as if you're qualifying, then you're also going to save it a little bit too for the end of the race, not scratching the wall at all or getting any unnecessary damage early on that you might not want and that would slow down your vehicle with. So yeah, Joe, there's some patience involved certainly when you have to factor in tires in a difficult track like this one.
Pace car lights were back on there. Did they go off? I thought they went off.
They did go off. That's what it looked like. But they're back on now.
Yikes.
Extending the yellow.
TMP officials didn't like something that they saw. Now the pace car lights are off here. I'm assuming the officials aren't liking the race and they're seeing so far. These fans in attendance expected a really great show. We've had cautions to start this race. We've kind of seen that, though, here with the TMP Racing League. Cautions to start the event. Once these drivers get a little more comfortable, they're going to start clicking off these laps really fast.
Yeah, it's a common thing in sim racing. Typically, Joe, you know this better than anybody too. But early on in a race, you might have that cautions early on. Wait till everyone gets settled down, and you might have a long green flag run to end it. So I've got some hope for these guys. I mean, we know these are good drivers. We've seen them before on here. I think once everybody just gets their bearings straight, we'll be all right here.
The pace car lights are back on once again. Don't know what's going on, Tommy. I don't know what's going on.
Could be some debris left on the track in preparing the course for tonight's race. I know there was a lot of dirt that needed to be cleared, some weeds, and there could be some residual stuff left out there that maybe that's why people are spinning out in turn 3.
Tommy,
debris on the track.
Tommy, that's why I said you're the best in the business. You just absolutely crush it when it comes to immersion for our fans at home. If you want to hear more from Tommy Bordeaux, you can check out all the different JTN broadcasts. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Tommy's just a great color commentator up here in the booth. Does a great job every single time he's out. Pace car. Come on, pace car. Go down pit road. There he goes. Now he's off the track. Now we're getting ready to go back green flag racing. It's Musa and Fast Cow 1-2. Bumbalo. Bumbalo, Milky, and I believe Palmer, your top 5. As we get into the restart zone, ready to go back green flag racing. Flags in the air. Green flags back out.
Well, here we go, Joe. That green flag waving once again. We're on lap 23 of 110. We've still got a long way to go. Still plenty of time for any one of these guys to get up front and try and challenge Tom Musa, who thus far has led every single lap. But right now it's been Tom Fastcows in second and Ricky Bumblow in third that have been the closest to him. Ooh, looks like Fastcows took a look into turn 3 but had to back out of it.
Went really hard down into the corner there. Had to get off the gas to not make contact with the back bumper of that 4 car, and that caused Bumbledow to kind of catch up a little bit.
Oh!
Oh no, Musa!
Musa gets loose out of 1. Guys it back up, but hits the wall a little bit. Now Bumbledow to the outside of Fastcows out of turn 2.
Bumbledow
he
into
hits
the wall. Oh my goodness, that's... Guys, keep it green, though. They're keeping it green, so we're good. We're good. We're keeping these officials getting these laps in here now. That was a couple of hard licks there for the 4. Maybe not as much for the 4, but that 85 really making hard contact with the wall. You know he was probably in the gas trying to get... Oh, with the 88 and 33 and the 60 all into the wall there. Oh my goodness.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know, everybody's heard of the Darlington stripe in racing. Oh, as the 85 gets
In the
down
grass.
the curbing there.
He was in the
Look at
grass, Tommy.
He's doing his part, mowing some long grass here in the infield. Always appreciated. But I'll tell you what, Joe, yeah, you've heard of the Darlington stripe. Nazareth's turn 1, I'm sure, is going to have the Nazareth impact, probably some crushed side panels, certainly there. We've seen quite a few cars take hits there. It doesn't matter how good you are, that corner can sneak up on you real quick.
Go back to our leader, Tom Musa, Tommy.
Oh, Clayton Stokes around in the 25. We're under yellow. Give me
92.
the 92.
It's okay.
Lap 25 has just been completed.
And it looks like that 92 is going to take it to the garage.
Well, the 92, it seems like he's been in every incident thus far, just about, maybe 3 or 4, spinning around, and just too much for the car to handle, unfortunately.
Got loose. You got to think something got knocked out underneath that vehicle, because that, again, it's been a tough spot for guys, but we haven't seen them rotate that much through that corner tonight. That makes sense.
I'll tell you what, these top 3, though, Joe, Musa, Fastcows, and Bumbledow, putting on quite the show up front. I mean, Tom Musa was very fast in qualifying, but it seems like Fastcows is able to get there as long as he keeps it, clean and straight. He's able to get close and possibly challenge for that lead. And Bumbledow right there, I mean, it's still anybody's race.
Tommy, it's going to be a close race all night long. We've seen it here with team. Got a couple guys that are just really close at the top, and then you always add in 1 or 2 more guys. Tonight, it's Bumbledow in the 85 and Milky in that 60. Those are the next 2 guys, right? Nebelsek not here tonight. We see him a lot of nights in TMP and ASRA, but it's going to be a Musa Fastcow show, but we've seen that those guys can make mistakes. We saw Musa hit the wall off of turn 1. We saw Fastcow do the same, almost spin out in turn 3. It's just a challenging track here at Nazareth, and it's proving that just by putting the challenge on these guys that we just think are amazing and just the top of this league.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at tracks like Talladega and Daytona. What do we talk about? Always the draft being the great equalizer. Well, here at Nazareth, it's the track itself. I mean, no one is immune to the toughness of this track and these different corners. So you've seen it out of pretty much everybody tonight, slapping a wall here or there. More than one occasion sometimes, getting loose out of corners. And I'll tell you what, Joe, these guys are going to be in for a long night if we keep having yellows. Hey, it looks like the 33 of Tom Fastcows is going to be coming down pit road.
Interesting move there, because that's like the 2nd or 3rd time, right, that they've had to go by pit road. So come down pit road, maybe thinking fuel mileage to the end of this thing. Pace car lights going off. Just want to catch up with chat. Yeah, it's a tough track, but we're going to talk to the chat for a second here. Steve21, Steve Rubino writes in, JTN does a great job. Roger agrees. Thank you, guys. We appreciate that as always. We do our best. We do our best, right? And I think our best is getting pretty dang good, Tommy. Ron Fox writes in, nice to see League still running LMP V2, my favorite mod. It's a really good-looking mod, Tommy. And these guys doing a great job tonight. And Steve and Roger agreeing with that. We're going to be going back. Green flag racing, though, here with Musa and Bumbledow, your top 2 here. See if Bumbledow can Get another good restart as he has the last couple times. Musa sees the green flag. We're back racing at Nazareth.
Yeah, Joe, just took a look right there under green as far as the pit window is concerned, and it said fuel. I don't know, I think the window's between 30 and 35 laps of green flag racing. Of course, we've ran the majority of this race under yellow, so quite a bit of saving to be done there, but I'd be getting worried if we get a long green flag run. Tom Fastcows might be in the best position on track.
Just saw literally everyone hit that outside wall down the back straightaway here this last time by. Right now, the only side-by-side battle is, for a second, it was Boyer and Driscoll. And Driscoll only makes contact with the 44 for Bino. Bino up and over into the retaining
Still
fence.
on his side.
That's going to bring out a yellow.
And that was a hard hit up into the catch fence for that 44. Dan Rubino went for quite the ride. I didn't know these late models could do that, and yet it would be turn 1, claiming another victim.
Driscoll just runs into him through turn 1, Tommy, and that just sends that 44 up onto the barrier. And then into that retaining fence. It's a good thing that fence was there, or else those virtual fans would be in a world of hurt.
Yeah, safety always a priority in sim racing, whether or not the fans are three-dimensional or two. Always got to think about them and their safety. Wow, what a hit for that 44 car. Rolled a few times, and boy, the rear end of that car, they're going to need a new rear clip, that's for sure.
Looks like the front end's okay, so probably okay motor damage-wise. Go on board with the 44 car here. There's the contact. You see the 78, and just, ooh, a scary ride there. You see the camera cutting out as he hits on his roof, on his side. That's just a scary hit to see, but good to see the 44 car and driver get away from that incident. It looks like everyone's down on pit road now.
Yeah, Joe, like I mentioned just about that pit window time, I really like that move by everybody. I mean, you have to pit at some point. You don't want to risk running out of gas, especially if you're like Tom Musa and you've been up front all night long. You can't risk that. So definitely a good move for everybody to come pit here, get gas and tires, although we've been under yellow for most of this race. Certainly you want to think big picture. And that's pretty much what everybody is doing here.
Boyer looks like he's staying out, but I believe he came down a couple caution periods ago. Also assume Palmer did the same there in the 108 car.
That makes Boyer our first different leader of the night.
It does, and that Rocky Boots machine looking good out there. Last time we were here with TMP, we might have missed that 41 Top Golf machine, so we're getting the 41 Rocky Boots car, a little extra TV time here under caution, but he's going to be the leader, it looks like, on this restart. Palmer now coming down pit road in the 108 Dodge. And behind him, it's going to be Richard Finkel in that number 2 Dodge, and then, like, I believe, the Pascal in the 33 Chrysler 300 in third. There's a lot of threes there. Fourth is going to be the 21 car of Mojo, and then fifth, it's going to be Musa in that 4 car, and then Bumbalo in 6th. Bino's going to line up 7th on this restart, but he is a lap down after he came to pit road, I believe, Tommy. And it's the 17 of Bergeron, the 60 of Milky, the 7th of Hartman, 22 of Dylan Shaffer, the 78 of Driscoll in that last incident, and Palmer rounding out the field left here on track. Pace car makes its way down pit road. That Monte Carlo doing its job, getting off the track this time. Boyer's going to have the lead for this restart. Going to hit the restart zone, and we're going to go back. Green flag racing once again here at Nazareth.
Tell you what, Joe, I got my eye on Tom Musa there back in 5th. That's the farthest back he's been all night to see how he can navigate traffic. We know he's fast up front. Already looking on a move on Mojo on the inside. Right behind him, Ricky Bumbalo in the 85, making his way through.
Bumbalo really sent it in that corner. He's going to go to the inside of Musa here. Oh my, Tommy, he sent it into that corner.
He sent it in, and it stuck. Bumbalo, we saw him fast up in that top 3 earlier. He thinks he knows that he's got to get in front of Tom Musa if he wants a shot at this thing. Ooh, getting a little loose out of 1.
Oh, Rubino around.
Rubino.
Oh!
Oh, it's even be a bigger wreck.
They killed him. No, he's okay. No, he's not. They killed his
we've got a
car. His
upside
car.
down, that's Dylan Shaffer. Well, at the top of the broadcast, we talked about turn 3 being our accident zone, but it appears out of turn 1, that short chute, head down to 2, that's been the zone where we have seen accident upon accident.
44 goes around. Bergeron makes contact there. The 22 trying to slow down. The 78 also trying to slow down. They both make contact with the 44 and 7. You see from the spectator cam. Better, closer look at it here in a second. Dan Rubito writing in, he had enough. I can completely understand that because that is just... Oh man, tonight has been a rough night for the 44 machine. You're going to see this last contact from the 22 just... Oh my god, Tommy, that is a hard hit.
Well, we've seen quite a few hard hits tonight, Joe. I mean, that's an area of the track, you're exiting turn 3. You've got that straight line across the start and finish that really, you pick up a lot of speed that you carry into turn 1 with. And, boy, that causes some calamity, that's for sure.
Our bumper cam with the 17 there. We're still loving this because he a lot of cameras here, Tommy.
Well, we paid for them, so we better use them.
We don't always get the chance to use them. See off the back of the 44 Rubino. You kind of just see the car getting loose. 17 runs into him. You're gonna feel this hit here. Oh, got shot there. Just sent into the air. We saw liftoff last night with Maverick in that 23 truck at Talladega. '21 Shell Machine of Mojo. You can feel this. No, maybe not. No, there's a little bit of a hit. Get you one last onboard with the 22 as Shaffer. Actually, we're going to go on board with 7 Shaffer.
Well, we've seen a number of wrecks here tonight already, but that had to be the biggest. We're not quite halfway through this race. Working lap 42 of 110, currently pacing, although pace car lights just went off. It's Josh Boyer still leading with Tom Fascaz in second, Richard Fenkel third, Ricky Bumbelow fourth, and Tom Musa back in fifth still. Just hope all those drivers are okay after that hard wreck.
Oh, man. Ann Rubito right again. She can't take it anymore. She has left the broadcast. That's just a tough break for the Rubino clan tonight with the 44 of Dan there. But we're going to go back green flag racing here. Boyer's going to have the lead. Fast count in second. Fenkel in third. Bumbelow and Musa, your top 5. You're going to see the green flag. We're back racing once again at Nazareth.
Well, this is the first time Boyer has been in second time Boyer's been in the lead for a restart. Both times able to keep that lead early on here, but Fascaz, he was fast. He's living up to his name. He's fast. But we'll have to see if he makes this move into 3. It's been a favorite passing zone for some other drivers. It's a little loose on entry.
Fenkel around in turn 3. Oh, and 21 makes contact. That's going to bring out a yellow.
Well, 2 cars that have RCR number fonts on the side colliding with each other after the 2 of Fenkel gets loose in 3. That's kind of what we thought most of these accidents would be tonight.
I thought turn 3 was going to be the trouble spot for Dale, of course. And, yeah, the 2 car just goes around, and it's just a harmless spin, and then that contact with the 21 at the end, that's going to definitely hurt the Dodge motor underneath that thing, but... not as bad as that last incident, Tommy. Not as bad as that last incident.
Yeah, although I must say after that last one, 2 more cars retiring. That's Dylan Shaffer in the 22 and, of course, Dan Rubino in the 44. Now out of the race, 11 cars remaining after the 15 took the green flag. Their nights ending prematurely, not what they were wanting when they climbed behind the wheel on pit lane before the race. But one guy who's looking to make his way back up to the front is Tom Musa in the 4. He's sort of 5th now, up to 4th. But he's trailing Bumbalo and Fast Cows, who, for the majority of this race to begin with, Joe, was leading those two.
You gotta think that they're gonna get a little aggressive here to try to get back into this lead, but boy, you're doing a good job on these restarts, just staying out in front, not overdriving the car. We've seen really the trouble for these drivers tonight has been overdriving these corners, right? They're trying to carry as much speed. You think you can carry more speed in flat corners than you really can. You know, you're used to banking, right? And banking is what helps these cars go fast. You don't have any banking here, Tommy. I don't know if these guys have seen that, but there's no banking here. It's flat. They gotta keep it a little calmer here. Not try to throw the cars into the corner so much, and you'll have the tires saved for the end of the run. So if these other guys kind of keep doing the same thing, you'd have to think that you'd be able to keep the car under you for a longer time, keep it faster for a longer time, and that's going to really lead, if we get a green flag run, to a good finish, no matter where you are in the field on this restart.
Yeah, Joe, before the race tonight, I took a track walk just to get a better feel of what these drivers are going to experience. I took my trusty level out there, and the bubble was just about in the middle. Not much banking here for sure. Pace car lights are out. So we'll try it again, Joe. We're going to restart starting lap number 48 of 110. Almost halfway through. If we can get there, that would be an achievement for sure. And still, a majority of the field that started left in this race.
Yeah, it's going to be Boyer, Fastcal, Bumbalo, Musa, and then the 17 of Bergeron, your top 5 for this restart. Pace car makes its way down pit road on that access road. Boyer taking the field through turn 3, running a little higher there than the 33 car. Wonder if he's just trying to offset, maybe give him a different little look at the back end of that car. Going to come into the restart zone. Flagman waves the green flag. We're racing once again in Nazareth.
We saw we saw Fast Cows on lap 1 of the last restart try and make a move on Boyer into turn 3. We'll see if he's close enough for that. Doesn't look like it, and there's contact.
Bumbalo into the 33 of Fastcal. That's going to bring out another yellow. Oh, and the 78 hard into the inside wall, and the 21 stops and doesn't make contact with that 78 car. That's going to be another yellow here at Nazareth.
Mojo just slowed it down just in time to not be involved in another wreck, but that's the 85 getting into the side of the 33 you just saw out of turn 2. Luckily, it wasn't a bigger incident, although the 78 of Driscoll there, Wade Driscoll, spinning out as well.
Here you'll see the replay from this faraway spectator cam. It gives you a good view, kind of just how the difference in the speed there. The 85 is really trying to carry a lot of speed through that center of the corner. The 33 not doing the same, and that's what's going to cause that incident there.
You know, he's been able to get away with it. Bumbalo has. And that's something we've mentioned, though. It's going to be difficult because depending on how drivers take these turns differently, you know, you might have situations like that where you just run into a guy. So got to be careful here, especially in turn 2, which is, like I mentioned, it's got some elevation change.
See another look at it there, just making contact, driving into that left rear quarter panel. Sending that 33 car around and into the outside wall. Well, Tommy, we have a couple Canadians in the field tonight. Canadian Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to Mr. Matt Bergeron and Clayton Stokes. I think Clayton's actually out of the race, so he hasn't spent his entire Thanksgiving evening with us here, but happy Thanksgiving, Mr. Matt Bergeron here. Canadian Thanksgiving. A couple guys from the border traveling south to the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania.
Could not have picked a better destination. It's a beautiful country out here, let me say. But congratulations to them. I hope they're having a wonderful Canadian Thanksgiving and celebrating it with their friends and family as much as they can, of course.
Troubling times that we are in right now, Tommy, but something like getting out on a sim in NR 2003 or iRacing or whatever it may be kind of helps with that isolation, right? You don't feel as alone. So pace car light should be going off this time by if I did my math correctly, but you know, Actually, I probably should get my math correct.
You're only an engineer, that's all.
Yeah, you know, I don't need math too much for engineering, but
But you were right.
hey, see, so if you ever see a bridge built by JoeTowNetwork, it's probably right. It's probably okay to walk across or drive across. I'm not deciding bridges, Tommy. I'm not deciding bridges, but that's a beautiful bridge down there in turn 1 or turn 2.
Yeah, that's actually a point that I think I'm going to talk about right now really quickly before this screen. I love track bridges. Bridges over the track. I don't know. It gives it more of a special event feel. I really wish they still had one at Phoenix. I wish they never redid Phoenix in the first place. But that's another discussion. But I do like track bridges, and I'm glad Nazareth has one.
And Boyer's going to bring him into the restart zone this time. We'll give you a different look here for this restart. Never mind, we're not going to give you a different look. It's the same one. Well, it's not the same one. Boyer into the restart zone. Green flag's back out at Nazareth.
Boy, really high-speed restart there. I mean, we were up in 80 miles an hour. I don't think that was pace speed, but Boyer getting on the gas pretty early. Bumbleow following him, and I know Boyer saw what happened in his mirror just a few laps ago. With Bumbleow and fast cows.
Caution is back out. I don't see anyone around here, Tommy.
Yeah, I don't think the starter liked that start right there, throwing the yellow and red flag saying, let's do it again, boys.
Oh, man. Well, you got to think that these guys are really going to know how to do restarts after tonight, because they have had a lot of them.
Plenty of practice, and I'm sure the flagger's arm is getting a workout. He's been working hard all night long.
What's the flagger in iRacing? What's his name?
Is it Bernie?
Yeah! Who's our flagman?
I think so. And boy, let me tell you, what a cool moment that was for the flagger at Darlington to do the enthusiastic wave of the green flag once we return to racing. Mirroring the iRacing flagman, indeed.
Oh, man.
Moments like that make you happy to be part of racing, I must say.
Stop me. I saw in the chat California Poppy writing in RIP for the 44 car. I assume that's when that comment came in.
Yep.
I know. I don't know. Is it the Bordeaux Brigade or is it the Bordeaux? I forgot the word. Not brigade. Not band.
Brigade. Oh,
Brigade.
Brigade sounds good.
It does.
I must say.
It does.
You can't go wrong with that.
E-cars coming down pit road here.
But it's great to see my brother in chat there. Glad he's tuning in. A couple other family members I know tuning in. So it's great to see. Special shout out to my grandmother for making the visit out to California right now, and I hope she's enjoying the broadcast.
Oh, contact on pit road! No! No!
Oh, no!
That's the one place we didn't have a wreck tonight. Now we got a wreck down there, too.
I mean, we've had wrecks in every turn so far. I didn't think we'd see one on pit road, and Joe, we had one.
Had one.
And you saw it on JTN right in front of you. Boy, the best camera shot you could have had for that, too. So you had a Driscoll involved there. Oh.
Yikes. Bumbleow also probably getting some damage there. He's the first one off pit road, so I mean, I'm sure he's not too angry.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. But the 5-star bodies that late models have these days in real life are composite.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the thing about that is, this is 2003. These are sheet metal. So that's going to be a very a tough week in the body shop for, boy, a number of these teams.
I think every team, honestly. I think every team has at least had one of their cars involved in it tonight. Right now it's Matt Bergeron out front in the 17 Castrol Chevy Camaro. He's going to be followed by Bumbleow. We know Bumbleow's not afraid to send it down into turn 1 on, or turn 3, or turn 2 and turn 3 on a restart. Musa in third, Boyer fourth, and Milky rounding out your top 5 here for this restart.
I'll tell you what, Joe. You know, early on we saw Tom Musa up there leading this race, and I didn't think anyone really had much of a shot at him. But the way that strategies have played out with different cars doing different things, I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see how Bergeron navigates the new lead here, especially with a car like Bumble right behind him.
Yeah, they're going to come into
Who's been fast.
Coming into the restart zone. Hit the gas. Get there fast, boys. Green flag's back in the air. Oh, Bumbleow almost making contact with that 17. You saw smoke locking up those tires to make sure he didn't make contact. It looks like A5 got into the wall. He's going to send it down here into turn 3, Tommy.
I think both of us were just holding our breath through turn 1, Joe. I know I was. Ooh, the 17, Bergeron gets in the wall a little bit. Hey, here comes Tom Musa back up to the front. He's looking for second place, and he'll get it. And now Ricky Bumbleow taking his first lap.
Oh, no!
The wall.
There's 3 wide behind him. They're going to make contact.
That's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Ah!
They're making it work.
It made it work, Tommy. Bumbleow keeps the lead.
Look at that. And Bumbleow holds the lead. Boyer to second place. And Bergeron holds on to third.
How is that not a wreck?
Incredible piece of driving by those drivers not to cause an accident there.
Oh,
I mean,
Bumbleow.
it could happen any lap at this point, but right now, incredible.
I would say let's get you a replay, but we're... Oh, never mind. We're getting yellow flag again. We'll get you a replay of that, and we'll get you a replay... Oh, Bumbleow. Buddy, slow down. Caution's out. And it looks like it's the 78 of Driscoll here.
Driscoll, who was just involved in that pit road incident.
It's going to be turn 1, Tommy. Just this dogleg turn here. He gets on that... Oh, and the 7 car also going around here. Looks like the 7 doesn't make contact with anything. Synchronized spinning. 7 car, though, keeps it off of Hartman, but Driscoll and this number 78, Wade Driscoll, tough break there. Get you a replay, though, of that hard racing for the lead a couple laps ago.
I'll tell you what, that time through turn 2 was unbelievable. I thought we were wrecking. There's no way that should have stayed green, and yet they did it.
I don't... You see it again on screen. Bumbleow, though, he's going to have some really heavy damage to that right front fender, Tommy. Get you, I think a helicopter cam might be in order here.
Boy, that was... Watching it back on the monitor, Joe, I mean, that's incredible.
It looks like the 41 and the 17 actually made contact going down into turn 2.
Oh, yeah,
Excuse me.
I thought that's what was going to be it, but they held on.
Hiccups, but, almost a big hiccup there, though, for our top 5.
Well, what a segue, Joe. That's why you're one of the best in the game. I would say the best in the game, but
Shucks.
wow, I mean, these drivers also showing that they're going to be the best in the game. I mean, to hold on to something like that, I think that shows you the potential of what can happen here tonight. And certainly when we're coming down to the wire, and these guys are racing hard, I think expect to see more of that.
I mean, oh my goodness. I don't want more of that, Tommy. My heart can only take so much. We saw crazy racing action last night in the Hobo Racing Truck Series, and we're seeing racing tonight here at Nazareth. It's been crazy. It's been crazy tonight. It was crazy last night, and it's not going to slow down here anytime soon, it seems like.
No, the pace may have slowed down for the yellows that we have to go through the track slowly for, but other than that, I mean, the intensity is pretty much lap after lap when we go green, like we were racing at the end of the race. Now, I don't know if that's a strategy to have a long-term green flag run, but it sure is providing some excitement. And speaking of excitement, fans at home, get excited. The pace car lights are off once again.
It's gonna be, it looks like Bumbleow in first. Second is gonna be Boyer in the 41. Third is Matt Bergeron in the 17. Ron Milkey in fourth. Musa in fifth. The 21 of Mojo in sixth. Seventh is Mike Hartman, excuse me, in this number 7 car. Then next it's gonna be the 2 of Richard Finkel, Dog Palmer, and then Fast Cow rounding out your field left on the speedway here. Bumbleow, though, little blinky right now for this restart. He's going to have the lead for the first time tonight, coming back to the green flag.
Into the restart zone, pressing the gas. Not quite. Looks like we're still under manual pacing. That, or we're just taking things very easy, not wanting to cause any accidents. And at this point, you never know. Well, we're keeping it nice and straight, I must say.
Looks like, I'm assuming we're going to go back green this time. This is something you see with the United States Online Racing League here on JTN with these manual cautions, but this time Bumbleow's going to come across the line. Hits the gas. Green flag is back out here, even though the flagger waved it last time by.
Well, all right. We're back under green. Joe, you mentioned the USORL, and we're going to get to that in a few moments here when we get an opportunity. But don't look now. Tom Moose is back up to third. You know, we saw him get up to second for a brief moment, and then all that skirmish happening in turn 2 brought him back a few spots, but working his way back up front, excuse me, into fifth. Sorry, back into fifth. Was second after all that went down in turn 2. So he's going to be looking at some rear bumpers of cars that, to begin the night, it didn't look like he was going to be looking at all. He's got some work to do in that number 4 Rowdy Energy Toyota Camry.
I wonder if he's saving a little bit here, Tommy. We're outside the fuel window, of course, but... Oh, no! Milky into the 17 of Bergeron. That's going to be another yellow.
Oh, it's a hard wreck.
Oh, Fanko around. Pascal might have went around there, too, to maybe bring out that yellow. I yelled there. I apologize to the viewers at home. We probably peaked. Something happened with Pascal. Yeah, so... Initial incident here, Tommy, is going to be the 33 car on the front straightaway. They're our trouble spot. Oh, Fankel also goes around. He does a little loop-de-loop, gets it back going, but the 33 car hardened to the wall and then hits the inside guardrail trying to get it back going. Looks like they were still green at this point, Tommy, and then the 60 of Milky makes contact with the 17 of Bergeron. That brings out the yellow.
Yeah, looking on the monitor here, Joe, quite the incident there. I mean, you had a lot of cars going different directions. Glad nobody flipped. But, of course, another yellow is going to bring us down a little bit in our speed. Right now, averaging a cool 82.534 miles an hour for our race leader Bumbleow tonight. Definitely factoring in the pace speed there has slowed it down quite a bit, but lap times are pretty quick around here for these late models. If we can get more green flags, certainly that number will go up. A lot of cars coming down pit road.
You gotta think, we're on the edge. I'm on the edge! Getting ready. I'm so sorry. I'm running out of things to say tonight, Tommy, but, we're on the edge of that fuel window to try to make it to the end here, especially with all the cautions we've seen. You gotta think, come down pit road now, you're gonna be good to go to the end.
Yeah, if you're going to be saving fuel under cautions, this is an opportunity, I think, to make your last pit stop. It'd be a stretch, and certainly with CTS physics,
GNS.
It can be a stress. Is this GNS?
Yes, it is.
Well, in that case, I think you can make it at the end if you pit now and save under caution. So, yeah, possibly an opportunity for some of these guys to do so. Again, you'd have to save quite a bit, but with the yellows we've been getting, you have to think cautions breeding cautions might give you more of an opportunity to save. Possibly last pit stops for some of these guys.
Yeah, Boyer coming down now. Pace car lights are off, so we'll go back green flag next time by. Just past 10 o'clock on the East Coast. I believe that's what? I'm gonna do quick math. 7 o'clock on the West Coast.
You'd be correct.
I did it, Tommy. I finally did it.
And 10 o'clock back in Nazareth, you can see the night sky out there.
It's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful night.
Yeah. Nice, warm Lehigh Valley night. Some of the best in my memories, for sure.
Pace car makes its way down pit road. We'll get back green flag racing here in just a moment. Bumbleow's going to have the lead with Musa and Mojo. Right behind him, sees the green flag. We're racing once again at Nazareth. Oh, Bumbalo. He gets so loose through turn 1, Tommy. It's just, it scares me every time.
Yeah, but he's held on to it more than once. I'll tell you what, if he can hang on to that 85 car, he's quick, but don't look now, Moose is back up to second place.
And Musa's got to be thinking about when Bumbalo made a pass to get by Musa a long time ago now. Bumbalo really threw it into the corner. You got to think Musa remembers that. Bumbalo again getting on that rumble strip there, and it looks like, are we back under yellow? I'm so confused.
Looks like we got another yellow. Might be Fenkel.
Issue a replay. Like, oh, it looks like you might have made contact with the 17 of Bergeron. Not that he made contact. Yeah, 17 runs in down there in turn 3. That is a tough break there for Finkel. Had a start at the back after not being able to qualify in that right engineering machine. The Mopar. You gotta love Mopars. Tommy, you got any caution fireside stories to tell?
Well, we briefly mentioned the USORL, which is going to be returning to JTN for a full season on Saturday nights once again. Not just the playoff, but the whole enchilada. It should be quite exciting. It'll be nice to be back and seeing those guys, and especially this season, following the full way through, to develop some storylines, some trends, and just to see these drivers through an entire year of USORL Cup Series action. I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be starting in just a few weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time starting November the 7th. Those races kicking off at 10:50 p.m. or 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday night. So you get your college football in throughout the day, and you're probably not a Pac-12 fan, so then you watch JTN in the United States Online Racing League to cap off your night. It's going to be a great time there with those guys, as it always is, coming back on November the 7th at Daytona for the duels, and then the Verizon 250 there. You can also check out all their other races that we broadcast in the playoffs last season. Playoffs. That we did for them last season right here on the JTN YouTube page. You can also check out right here on JTN. Episode 2 should be coming out this week. Episode 3 the following week. We had a rough week last week with classes and university, but the Fake Racers podcast with myself and Davey Hazard, where we talk about the world of NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA. Just talking about silly season this week, talking about the Roval and Talladega the last 2 weeks since we missed Dega. We're going to talk about it this week. And then next week, it'll be all about the 2021 schedule. We're thinking Xfinity and trucks should be coming out soon, too, so we can get you all that information. And also next week, previewing the championship race for the Verizon IndyCar Series, or NTT Data IndyCar Series. I don't know why I called it Verizon, Tommy. I guess Verizon 250, but it's going to be a good time here on JTN. If you like what you see, if you like hearing my beautiful voice, it's not beautiful, but it's a voice. Hit the subscribe button, hit like on all our videos. We love to see it. We love your support. If you want your NR 2003 League broadcast, make sure you reach out to us on Facebook, into contact for more information about pricing and how it works to get your league showcased right here on JTN, the JoeTow Network. I'm Joe Twansky. Alongside me tonight is Mr. Tommy Bordeaux. Pace car makes its way down pit road. Tommy, I've been talking for a while, so why don't you take the viewers at home through this restart?
Well, here we go. It's Ricky Bumbalo back in the lead to start this green flag runoff again. We'll see how long we go. Boy, it gets a great start there. A lot of gap, a lot of time between him and Moose. At the line there was 0.5 of a second and a whole second back to Ron Milkey in third. So, boy, let's see that gap of the 85 if he can hold it. But we're just about, 30-odd laps away from the finish of this race.
Hey, Tommy, we're taking a look farther back in the pack. Hartman looking to the inside of Mojo. I believe that's for the 5th or 6th position. Give it to Hartman. Fast Cow now looking to the inside of the 7 car.
Now, Fast Cow's, we've seen him up front tonight. We'll have to see if he can make his way back up there.
Oh, contact. We're going to have another incident. Boyer around, or maybe not. We're still green.
Still green. Depends if these officials throw the yellow or not. They're not throwing it. If there's no cars coming, I think we'll be all right.
Gonna get you a replay of that since that was a contact incident. It's gonna be the 7 car and the 33 making the initial contact here. That's gonna send the 7 to the outside wall. 21 makes contact, and then that's gonna make the 41 spin out farther back. He's around backwards on the track, Tommy. That's an interesting call for officials not to throw yellow.
Yeah, I think we're just getting tired out here. We want to see some green flag racing, and indeed, we stay green. Musa tracking down Bumbalo. The race for the lead is heating up right now. Musa looking low at a turn 3. Bumbalo keeps it for now, but that gap is shrinking lap after lap, that 4 car. He's been fast all night long, but he's looking to reclaim a lead that he hasn't had since the early stages of this race.
He's hunting down that 85 Gas Monkey Ford of Bumbalo. We saw him last night in the Hobo Trucks, and now he's trying to win tonight. He was willing to make all kinds of crazy moves last night. We've seen it tonight. He's willing to do the same, but right now, the real battles for third is Fast Cow trying to get past the 60 target machine of Milky.
The top 3 pretty much all night long has been that Bumbalo, Musa, Fast Cow triad, but the order of those has changed significantly. Bumbalo able to gap Musa a little bit there, in about 3/10 that last lap by, and as we come to the closing stages of this race, those two have separated themselves from the rest of the field by over a 1.5 seconds. So right now it is definitely just a battle between Bumbalo and Musa right now. Fast Cow's still trying to work on Milky for third.
We've seen, though, Bumbalo... I'm watching him, Tommy, and maybe you can shed a little bit more light on this, but we're seeing him, he's really... That right rear tire, he's really letting it hang out down here in turn 3. Sliding the back end of the car a lot more than these other guys. You gotta... If I'm on top of the box, right? If I'm on top of the box, I'm telling my driver, stop doing that. You're burning off those rear tires, but why is he doing that? What's the advantage of throwing the car into corners?
Well, I think he's just trying to keep Musa behind him. I mean, we know how fast Musa was many tenths ahead of the rest of the field in qualifying. I think Bumbalo knows he's fast. He sees him in the mirror. He's just trying to do everything he can to keep him behind him, and I think that's what you got to do at this stage in the race. You can't let Musa have the lead because I think he's just going to run away with it. Musa looking low on the front stretch.
Yeah, he thinks better of it going into turn 1. That's been the trouble spot all night long. He's going to back off a little bit more. Fast Count now taking over the 3rd position from Milky. So it's back to that, like you said, triad out front.
I think that's a smart move by Musa right there, not to send it into 1, because we've seen accidents there before by drivers doing the same thing. He's going to wait. I think he really gets Bumbalo in turn 3 especially. I think he's going to wait till there to make a move if he can get close.
Yeah, but he's got to do a better job of staying close there through turn 1. He did it that time. He's going to be on the back bumper of this 85 of Bumbalo through turn 2. But yeah, he's definitely getting him in turn 3. Bumbalo just really throwing the car down into that corner. Oh, and there you see it. That is terrifying, Tommy. He's way out of the groove. That's going to allow the 4 of Musa to get on by. Not Musa back to the lead in this Rowdy Energy Toyota.
Yep, that was Musa's chance. Just took a little bit of a slip up from Bumbalo. And now Tom Fastcows, he's got within a second of the leader. He's really quick now, Joe, and I think Bumbalo's going the wrong way.
See all kinds of right side damage on that 85 car. Just trying to hang on right now. I'm telling you, he definitely used up those tires. Fast Cow now to the inside. He's going to make the pass here down in turn 3.
Meanwhile, Musa trying to pedal his car away as fast as he can. He's got the lead out to a whole second now in front of Fast Cows, but we'll have to see if the 33 can close in and see if anybody's got anything for Tom Musa in the 4. That Rowdy Energy Toyota Camry has been really fast all night. Back into the lead with just about 21 laps to go.
Gotta be careful, though. I've noticed all night long, Tommy, guys, when they hit those curbs down there in the corners, you see it in turn 1, you see it in turn 2, you see it in turn 3. That's really what's upsetting these cars, more so than the flat track.
Yeah, you can kind of get on that curb, and the way NR 2003 works for those viewing at home, curbs typically have a little bit more grip than the track itself, and then when you have your left side tires on a really gripped up surface and the right side on maybe a not so gripped up surface, I can kind of force the car around to the left a little bit, maybe get the car a little loose. Now, it can work in your advantage if you want the car to get loose, but if you're not expecting it, or maybe it's too loose, then you can certainly get yourself in a situation where that car turns around on you and you spin out.
Right now, Tommy, you just got to be consistent. We're seeing Musa, he's hitting those aprons with that, or hitting the curbs. I'm sorry, hitting the curbs with that little bit of extra grip there. But he's being really consistent about his line. He's really hugging that bottom. He's not washing up the track like we've seen a lot of guys do throughout the night. You think he's just taking it a little easier than a lot of these other guys?
Well, he can certainly afford to. 1.2 seconds ahead right now. That's probably the biggest lead we've had for any driver all night long, and certainly the longest green flag run we've had all night long.
Make sure you knock on wood real quick.
I've got some wood right here.
There we
My
go.
IKEA desk, keeping that green flag run alive.
Tommy, you're the best, man. You're just the freaking best.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for having me back on the broadcast. As we say, Tom Musa has been gapping the field. Tom Fascow closed it up now, just 7/10.
Well, they're coming to pit road.
Top two. Here we go. This is going to be final stops.
Let's see.
Ooh, boy, I'll tell you what. Fascow's really had a great pit entry right there.
Yeah, he closed all the way up onto the back bumper of the 4-car of Musa. Bumbalo and Milky also coming to pit road. Fenkel staying out. Does that give the lead to the 2-car?
It's the first time we've seen green flag pit stops all night. Looked like Tom Fascow knew what he was doing. Musa a little bit more conservative on that entry. We'll see how the pit crews can handle this one. Top 4 pit.
Revving the engine, getting ready to get sent back out of the pit box. 2-tire stop for the 4 of Musa. The 33 taking 4. Be interesting to see how that plays out, but that's going to give Musa a huge lead off of pit road.
Yeah, that's a bold call, but with just over 15 laps left, it might be the right one. We'll have to see, Joe, whether 4 tires is better than 2. But of course, with that huge gap that now Musa has opened up for himself for the provisional lead, I gotta say, it could be game, set, match.
Right now, I believe our leader is this 2-car Richard Finkel. Am I correct?
You'd be correct. 10 seconds over the 21, and Boyer in third, 13 seconds back.
Sounds like that 2-car's clutching, Tommy.
It could be trying to save gas and make it to the end. We talked about it. People might be able to do that if they were pitting late on that caution. We saw Boyer go down late during that last yellow as well, so it's possible, Joe, that they're going to try and stretch this thing.
Right now, it's Finkel, your leader, but that 4-car... That's the guy I'm looking at, right? That's the guy that's got all the fuel that he needs to get to the end of this race. Bumbalo behind him, but Bumbalo's a lap down to that 2-car Finkel. 4-car's on the lead lap, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so that 2-tire stop kept him on the lead lap with a decent gap, and we got a caution.
Oh, we got a caution. And Joe, this changes everything.
7-car of Hartman around at the entrance of pit road. That trouble spot we've seen all night long, and Tommy, you're right, it changes absolutely everything about this race.
Well, not really what some of these guys wanted. They're going to be trapped a lap down. Bumbalo should get the lucky... Do they do lucky dogs in this series, Joe?
I believe so.
He should get the lucky dog, Bumbalo. But for Milky, for Bergeron, for Palmer, Mojo, and Hartman, trapped a lap down. Hartman looks like he might get one back because he was ahead of the leader at the time of the yellow.
Because he was the yellow.
He was the yellow, but for some of these guys, boy, that not what they wanted to see. But if you're Richard Finkel, Boyer, 2 cars that stayed out, that's exactly what you wanted to see. Finkel, who started at the back, Joe, worked his way up now to the lead through pit strategy, and a well-timed yellow is going to keep him up there, looks like.
Roger writes, Nebelsack writes in, we've been rewarded with green flag stops. We were rewarded with some guys pitting under green, but we got an even better reward, Roger. It's pit strategy as the 2-car coming down pit road to take advantage of this caution to come make sure that he's good on that Sunoco racing field to the end of this thing.
Quite the opportunity right now for Finkel to pit, get fresh tires. I don't know. Doesn't look like Musa came down. Didn't look like Fascow did either, so... Yep, Finkel's going to have the freshest stuff in the field, along with Josh Boyer in the 41 car. So, Joe, we've seen a bunch of different leaders lead this race, coming down to the wire, it's still anybody's to win.
Yeah, it's gonna get crazy here. It's been crazy all night long. Cautions, wrecks, California copywriting in the words of NASCAR Thunder 2004. Woof. Mixing up my great NASCAR games. Looks like some extra hours in the body shop this week. I think that's the mindset for a lot of these guys. So, you know what? You can take away some of those extra hours at the body shop by just totaling the car out here. Bring home the steering wheel, but if you bring home the trophy and just the steering wheel, I think the boys back in the shop would be okay with that.
Trading trophies for race cars may be expensive, but I know everybody wants to win, and in sim racing, the great part is, after the race, you don't have to come back to a crew that knows they're in for some long nights. And hey, it's been a long night here, but it is the TWB 10 to go. We've made it. We have made it. 10 laps to go, presented by TWB. I would like to plug a different sponsor tonight, GardenLightsDirect.com, for your outdoor lighting needs. Go check them out. Affordable, classy, stylish door lights. Available at GardenLightsDirect.com. And that's your TWB 10 to go.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Just like those garden lights.
Absolutely, you are correct. And you know what else is beautiful? The pace car lights are off once again. And we're going to get some green flag racing. And we'll see.
Unless I'm not...
Oh, back on. Looks like we got some lap cars taking the wave around, Joe. Get themselves back on the lead lap.
Who would that be?
Well, Milky, Bergeron, and Palmer, I think, all stayed out under that yellow.
Okay.
They're going around now.
Yeah, Bumbelow came to pit road that time, so he got the lucky dog. Make sure he has fresh stuff here. So Moose is gonna have the lead for this thing. He's been up front. He's got the most experience. We'll see. We'll see, Tommy. We'll see.
Yeah, a lot of play right here. Now something to mention, though. Remember, Moose is on those 2 tires, Joe. While Fast Cows and pretty much everybody behind him took 4.
I completely forgot. It slipped my mind.
So we've really got an interesting situation here. We'll see if Moose can hang on 2, or if Fast Cows can take advantage with 4.
Musa really didn't want to see that caution. I mean,
no.
I don't think Finkel and Boyer wanted to see it, but Musa, a guy on 2 tires, you lose that advantage of taking those 2 tires when you lose that lead. You got over the guy that came down pit road behind you. Pace car should make its turn down the access road. It does, of course. It's going to be Musa, Fast Cow. Your top 2. Mojo, they're in 3rd on the restart. Musa goes into the restart zone. Flagman waves the green flag. We're back racing at Nazareth.
All right, here we go, Joe. Now, definitely what Fast Cows needs is this thing to go green to the end, so he has a chance to get there and take advantage of those 4 fresh tires. And what Musa wants, he wouldn't mind if this thing was under yellow for the rest of the way.
Are we? No, we're still under yellow. They didn't go back green. They waved it off. Sad.
All right, waved off the yellow again. We've seen it before tonight. It happens, especially in short track racing. If you visit your local dirt track, I know I've seen it plenty of times down there.
There we go. Green flag's back out racing once again at Nazareth.
Second time's the charm here in the Lehigh Valley. Just 6 laps to go. Tom Musa leads Tom Fast Cows. The Tom and Tom Show, we've seen it a number of times here, broadcasting the TMP Racing League on JTN. And right now, we're seeing it again. A Toyota Camry leads a Chrysler 300 going into 3. Ooh,
we got a big wreck.
Fast Cows takes a look.
We got a big wreck down the back straightaway, Tommy. And it's the 85 of Bumbelow, hardens the inside wall. Absolute heartbreak for the Gas Monkey machine.
Let's fetch the replay and get you some looks. Looking at the monitor, it was quite the hard hit for the 85.
He just breaks loose off this corner, off of turn 2, Tom. Or actually, no, he hits the wall. The 7 car also hits the wall in front of him. 17, 60 cars making contact. This might actually end the race, Tommy.
Depending on how long this yellow is, you know, we do have 2 cars still a lap down. It could end the race, and if you're Tom Musa, boy, you might have just...
You're okay with that, right?
You're okay with that. You're overjoyed because I tell you, those two tire stops can be risky sometimes.
Oh, one last time, I'm going to plug my sponsors. Check out JoeTow Designs in the link in the description below. Use code JTN2 at checkout for 10% off. JoeTow Designs providing you with some great racing-related designs, as well as some other great designs with Bristol the dog's puppy picture on there with nap time. It's a great blanket. I'm telling you, it's a wonderful blanket. You can also check out the JTN merch store for more. Support JTN. There's some great deals on there with JTN logo shirts, JTN car shirts. Just a great way to support us. But the best way, as always, to support us is to make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. On the road to 250, we're getting oh so close, Tommy, as we wind down 2020. A big sigh of relief from everyone in the world on that one. Also, check out AutoSim, the premier text-based simulated racing game in the world right now. It's free to play, autosim.weebly.com. You can also check out their Discord page to find different mods for the game that get it up to date with 2020 rosters for the NASCAR. I think there's Formula 1 mods out there as well. It's a great time there. Also, check out the TMP Racing League in the link in the description below if you want to sign up to get involved with the TMP Cup Series, TMP Late Models, and check out the ASRA website to find out more about how to get involved with the ASRA, which does the IndyCar portion of this championship schedule. Also, check out the JTN Facebook page. Give us a like over there. It shows your support in more ways than one. These car lights are off. Woo, Tommy.
Believe it or not, we're going to have a one-lap shootout to decide the winner of this race. Advantage Musa with a single-file restart and him being in the lead, but don't count out Tom Faskow's in a 33. Or anybody.
Honestly, JTN comes to the track. This league has a great race, so that's just even more in great finish to the race. It's even more reason to book JTN. Check out our Facebook page to do so. But it's going to be Musa and Faskow out front. Boyer's going to be licking his chops there in third. He's got fresher tires.
Well, keep your eyes glued to the screen because we're going to have a good one once again on JTN. Tom Musa leads Tom Faskow's, the Tom and Tom shows, to come off of turn 3 here at Nazareth. Rolling into the restart zone. Green flag is out, as well as the white. 1 to go here at Nazareth.
Here you see it. It's Musa gets a great jump on the restart. Boyer challenging the 33 of Faskow for second. Looks like Musa's got about 3 or 4 car lengths on that 33 car down the back straightaway.
One more chance for Faskow's to take the lead. It's going to be in turn 3. We'll see if he sends it in on Musa. Caution waves.
Racing back. It's not going to be enough. Coming across the line, Tom Musa wins at Nazareth. Faskow in second. Boyer in third, sliding across the line.
Synchronized spinning in 1.
Bumbleau.
But it's Tom Musa.
We're still racking. Bumbleau across the line backwards. Let's get you a replay of that final incident that mercifully brought this race to an end. Looks like it's going to be milky down the back straight. It had a great run all night long. That left front fender already kind of jacked up, probably hurting the ear of that car. You see he goes around after contact with Bumbleau in the 85. So you see that hard hit there. Then you're going to see Bumbleau make... Bumbleau makes contact with Palmer. That sends him into the outside wall there in turn 3. And then Boyer and Finkel around there through the dog leg turn 1. And just more hard hits after the yellow, or after the checkered flag, Tommy. But a great race nonetheless.
Yeah, we got through it, Joe. I'll tell you what, an exciting finish. We had some moments in that race that were quite the highlight. Especially that 3 wide in turn 2, about midway through the race, that long green flag run, some green flag pit stops, and of course a 1-lap shootout to finish the thing off here in the Lehigh Valley at Nazareth Speedway.
Yeah, we'll get you to post-race coverage here in just a second, interviewing our top 3. Tom Musa, though, taking the checkered flag here. Oh, that's 2 for 2 for Musa on JTN this season.
Yeah, you know, I definitely thought Musa was going to be the guy to beat. So fast in qualifying, laid down just a blazing fast lap time. It seemed like he was going to be the one to beat, and push comes to shove. Through thick and thin, that 4 car was just the class of the field tonight.
did a great job, Tommy. I'm going to try to get him down here, get him set up here as I get the post-race results on your screen in just a second here.
Well, Joe, Nazareth, we expect to have cautions. I think we've come to be used to that in sim racing. But I gotta say, green flag pit stops. These guys were able to do them, and that's a really exciting thing to see. I really threw a wrench into the race for some of these guys that then got trapped a lap down or had to wave around. It was certainly no lack of excitement towards the end of this race, and hopefully we'll have our winner, Tom Musa, down here shortly to give us his take.
Gotta think he was in the middle of the pack throughout the night. Kinda was probably a little scared at different points of that race because it was an absolutely crazy one there.
In the meantime, we'll see if we can get our second or third place drivers, Tom Fascow and Josh Boyer, respectively, in the booth for an interview.
You see the results now up on your screen. It's Moose, Fascow, Boyer, Fenkel, Bergeron, Palmer, Milky, Bumbalo, Mojo, and Hartman, your top 10. Driscoll, Shaffer, Rubino, Keller, and Stokes all retiring out of this race tonight after incident. The race filled with incidents, but one guy that managed to make his way out of it, our third place finisher, Josh Boyer. Josh, I mean, third place, it's got to feel good surviving tonight.
Barely. That was a rough one. That was a grind tonight. A lot of cautions. Tried to play some strategy there. Thought I was in pretty good shape. I think Rich and I were good on gas there with 20 to go, and while Rails was pitting, and so I don't think I would have won it.
Double
but
click on it. Gotcha.
Could have gotten second place out of it, but still third place tonight. Not too shabby. We had a couple of little incidents there tonight too, so overall pretty happy where we finished up.
Yeah, and we saw you.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Tommy.
Go ahead, Joe.
No, you go.
Well, I was just going to say, Josh, you led 22 laps. You saw yourself at the front of the field for a little bit of that race here. Coming to the end, holding on to that third place, a great point stay for you. When you saw the pace car lights go out and knowing there was going to be a one-lap shootout, what's going through your mind? Are you thinking you could win this thing?
I'm hoping that the 4 and 33 wreck with each other is what I'm hoping, and I scoot on by, But the 4 got a heck of a start. He jumped out quick, and I knew going down the backstretch that unless the 33 was really going to dive it in there, the 4 was going to get the win. So then I just kind of set up try to get a run off of 4. I had a run, I just didn't quite get there at the line, but we had a pretty close finish there for second.
Josh, again, congratulations on the third place finish tonight. Podium. It's got to feel good here at Nazareth. Anyone you want to shout out, thank before we let you go?
Just thanks to the guys again. Another fun night of racing. I always enjoy racing with these guys, and thanks to you guys for broadcasting like always. Sorry we a little bit of a slow show tonight, but there was a couple runs in there pretty good, and I think a decent finish.
Yeah, you had a great finish. Again, congratulations on the third place finish. That was Josh Boyer, driving the number 1 Rocky Boots. Bringing in now, we're going to work our way up to the top. So next is Mr. Fascow, driving the number 33 Chrysler 300. Fascow, I mean, like, that car was fast tonight, but we saw you towards the back. How good does it feel to rebound to a second place finish?
Oh, I love it. I mean, I didn't lose any hope because there was a lot of wrecking going on, so I knew I would get back up in the rank. I just didn't want to lose a lap. And I did, but I got the lucky dog, so that redeemed me. But I did get fastest lap.
Well, Tom, that certainly got to feel good. We just talked to Josh Boyer about his perspective on that final restart. From your view, was there going to be any shot at you getting the win in just one lap?
Nah, but my chance was blown when he took off. I mean, he took the green just slightly early, and I wasn't ready for it. I was right on his bumper, but then he jumped me, so that put enough gap out there where I couldn't close him down in turn 4. But I was happy with second place. I'm all about top fives to keep them points up.
Well, in second place finish, that's better than just a top 5, because if you finish 5th, that's a top 5, but you finish 2nd, and that's a podium. Again, congratulations on the second place finish. Anyone you want to shout out, thank before we let you go?
Oh no, thanks for the guys, and especially Rich Finkel for making my cars. They're awesome. They're beautiful, and it was another fun night. Great bunch of guys we got going here. I hope it continues for a while.
And again, congratulations on the second place finish, Tom Fastcow, driving the number 33 car, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
And now, Tommy, we bring in the second half of the Tom and Tom show. Mr. Tom Moose, driving the number 4 Rowdy Energy Toyota Camry. Tom, another victory here, this time at Nazareth in a late model. It's got to feel pretty good, but it was a long race. So what are the emotions right now?
Yes, it was very long. Lots of yellows. And I won on an oval. Go figure. It's not a road course.
Well, quite the performance you had. I mean, first of all, let's go back to qualifying. Before the race even began, you had a terrific qualifying lap, a few tenths up on Tom Fastcow's and the rest of the field. So very impressive there. That earned you my pick as the driver to watch for this race. And well, after leading 50 laps, including the final one, you certainly delivered. We've heard some other perspectives on that final restart. I know what happened for you. You won that race. You got the checkered flag. I want to hear about in the middle of the race, in turn 2, there was a 3-wide incident between, I think, Boyer, Bumbelow was in there, and you kind of watched it all happen with the best seat in the house. Did you think you were going to wreck out of turn 2 there?
Absolutely. That was the best part of the race, I think, with 4 or 5 of us there, because Ron was in there also. And I just lifted because I saw them guys getting squirrely and got 3 wide, and somehow we all saved it. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't domination for you tonight here. You led 50 laps. You led the most laps. It's gonna say you dominated on paper compared to everyone, but we saw you back in the pack due to like those where you had to pit when those cautions came out. Did the mindset have to change from running those really fast laps that we knew you were capable of doing when you got towards the back? Did you have to kind of change the way you were driving the track and all your competitors?
Absolutely. It was braking early because, the turns were really slick tonight. I drove the track all week and it wasn't half as slick as it was tonight for some reason. I have no idea why. But yeah, once you got back in the pack, you just had to mind your P's and Q's and follow the guy in front of you. Otherwise, you'd run into him and watch for the yellows to come out. And then the last pit stop, I only took 2 tires under the green. So I did get out, or I think it was green. I did get out, and then the last yellow came out, and it worked out.
Well, and that was the last question here. The 2-tire stop, was that just a call to try to get as much distance between you and the 33 car?
Absolutely, yeah. I tried it during the week, and you could do it, but your left front would be yellow, and I thought there was only like 14 laps left, so it wasn't really a second thought in doing it.
Well, and Tom, again, congratulations on the win tonight. Before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out, thank, before we end this beautiful broadcast here in Nazareth?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Rich for painting the car, the Rowdy car. I like Kyle Busch, even though he didn't make the chase any farther than he did already and had a bad year. My 2020 is going pretty good so far. And the wife, of course, for letting me do this. And all the guys that race with us, we've got a great group of guys running here. So, and I think our next race will be at Indy with the new 2020 IndyCar mod.
Fun one for sure. Tom Moose, driver number 4, again, congratulations on the win. Good luck next week.
Okay, thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you having us come out. Tommy, we had a great race tonight. A lot of Toms, including yourself, but sum it up for the fans at home.
Cautions, long green flag run, green flag pit stops, caution in the middle of green flag pit stops, 1-lap shootout to end the thing. Tom Musa, from the front to the back to the front again, wins this race in the Lehigh Valley.
Way to wrap it up, Tommy. And again, to our viewers at home right now, the next time we're going to be coming at you, As of right now, it's November 7th with the United States Online Racing League, but I have a feeling that's going to change in the near future. If you're looking for more content on JTN, well, there's a great video library of a bunch of different races. You can go all the way back to April, see how far we have come with all of your guys' support. We appreciate it so much. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video if you liked it. It was great racing tonight at Nazareth when we got those green flag runs, Tommy. And again, thanks for joining me up here in the booth. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, it's great to be here, Joe, and I'm looking forward to whatever race we broadcast next. And if it's nothing before it, certainly looking forward to the USORL.
Again, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in tonight. Whether you're watching it live, you're watching the replay, we appreciate it to the freaking moon and back, just all the support we've gotten. Make sure if you haven't already, again, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to hammer it home tonight. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. 250, it's on the horizon. We can't wait to get there, and we know we couldn't do it without your support. If you have also Wednesday, Fake Racers podcast with myself and Davey Hazard should be coming out here, where we're talking about NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, all of the world of motorsports in North America. It's gonna be a great time. If you haven't listened to the first episode, go ahead, click on it, listen to it. Tell us what you think. For everyone here at JTN, for my co-host Tommy Bordeaux, for Bristol the dog, I've been Joe Twancy. Spread peace, love, and happiness to all those that you cross and meet in this year that we call 2020. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Signing out from in Nazareth, Pennsylvania.